You ever just have an idea for a metaphor and it doesn't make any sense, but like it kind of makes sense to you? My dad, to me, reminds me of Icarus. And that got me thinking, right? Icarus didn't have a son, but if Icarus did have a son, how would that look? My dad really likes money, and he doesn't really like being a good dad. And that's fine. There's not enough wax in the world that'll keep those wings on as you keep flying higher. Eventually, money's going to become a prison that you put yourself into. And I feel like I'm LARPing because all I do is talk about money, but I did want to make something talking about my dad. Because my dad is why I'm so competitive. That and all my brothers and stuff, but like, my dad's the only one who's ever truly, not me like, letting Leo win a game of Monopoly so I can hustle him later, or like any of my other friends in poker, right? Can't show your full hand at first, right? My dad's the only one who's truly beaten me at a game of Monopoly. I don't hold it as some like, you know, it's not like part of my identity. Oh, I'm so good at Monopoly. No, I'm just very competitive, and I like games, and Monopoly's another game. People don't know that Monopoly is making fun of capitalism, and there was a video I saw of an alpha male dude who wanted to just make right, they're like fake podcast clips or something where he's just talking about, oh, bro, I wanted to I wanted to get better at Monopoly. So what did I do? I studied everything about Monopoly, the best strategies, statistically the most landed on spaces. You know how you can learn all that stuff? Just play Monopoly. I have a feeling it's all this technology and tools we have nowadays really gets in the way of critical thought. And yeah, I don't want this to be a whole critical thinking, like, whatever. But I would go toe to toe with anyone that studied any Monopoly algorithm, anything, and I will kick your ass. I will bet my soul on it, just like I do with the devil with this bet. And I don't care if I lose because that would at least be the most interesting game of Monopoly I've ever played. Which I wish I could say about games with my dad because I kick his ass every time I play Monopoly. I don't have a strategy. I have friends who are meta slaves to video games. They look up the right, in order to have a chance, I have to have this attachment on this gun and have this thing and have all these things in place just to have a chance to level the playing field because that's what everyone's doing. That's kind of all life feels like, is meta slave slop. Kind of. Everyone just doing the meta. And we can talk about who sets the meta, um, but I don't want to go into that. I want to talk about my dad, Icarus, or whatever. I see him flying, and he's high up there. And I myself tried to fly. I got about 30 feet off the ground. Then I hit the ground because my mind melted my wings. Took about a year and a half off. Felt like I was ready to fly again. Got 20 feet off the ground this time. Fell again. I said, well, that sucked, but I'm determined, damn it. I'm gonna fly. And then I got 10 feet off the ground. Fell again. Took a year. And I had to start asking myself, why am I trying to fly? Did my dad tell me to fly? Did the American dream tell me to fly? Did Hallmark cards tell me to fly? What makes me want to fly? And I couldn't think up a reason. But as I lay there, twitching, looking up at my dad, flying, his high score's going crazy, right? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I wonder how many, right? I wonder how many of my basketball games he remembers. I wonder how many of my track meets he remembers going to, because I remember every single one he went to. D1 track athlete. He came to 2 track meets my whole career. Daddy wasn't there. All that shit. I don't like being told that there's only one way to go about life and that you're an idiot for not seeing how the game is played. Hate the game, not the player, right? No, actually, you're playing a different game. You're deluding yourself into thinking you're playing the game of life, but you're playing the game of money. You're playing the game of clout. You're playing the game of, I don't know, attention-seeking validation bullshit. I see it everywhere. It hurts me to my core. At the end of the day, I used to hear this before like every basketball game. The announcers would say it. When it's all said and done, we're not going to remember the score of this game. We're not going to remember who won and lost. We're going to remember how we conducted ourselves during the game and how we played it. And that's always rang true for me. I can have the worst KD in Call of Duty you've ever seen, but I guarantee you I'm having more fun than anyone freaking just using I really can't stand people that are more obsessed with stats and like the end all be all than how you go about something, right? People can tell you how smart it is to buy Apple 30 years ago. People can tell you how smart it was to buy Bitcoin when it was $1. If you were holding Bitcoin back then, I got news for you. You were buying child pornography. It's not something exactly to brag about. When you would have made almost the biggest investment return of all time, you would have been outing yourself as using the Silk Road. People can get lucky. It doesn't mean they're smart. It doesn't mean they were even trying to play the game of money. They were playing the game of cheese pizza, right? That Apple iPhone. Oh man, I wish I'd spent all the money on my iPhone 4, which was a piece of shit phone. I wish I'd just bought Apple at that time, right? It'd be worth so much money. Are you cool with what Apple does as a company. Do you sign off on everything Apple does? You don't care. It's money doesn't care about your feelings. I'm just here to make money. It's the smart thing to do. Go to hell, because that's exactly where you're selling your soul to. I make bets with the devil on a daily basis. There's a circle in hell for people like you. I do think that there's an inherent, like, you need a base level of resources in order to survive. You do not need a base level of income, money, any of this to have a good quality life. And I know I'm LARPing. I don't know shit. I'm 25. I'm not a kid, but I'm not exactly grown up yet. I, you're not either. Okay. Everyone is figuring it out. And when I'm laying on the ground every single time, I go, wow, look at my dad up there. Look at all these people up here just flying high. Wow. That's so cool. I need to fly high. But my dad isn't flying. He's falling with style. That's it. He got up there. He doesn't have shit to show for it. All he has, right? Some of you might think it would solve all your problems, right? Oh, I have all this money in this ETF that tracks the whole market. I got my nest egg. I'm good to go forever. What are you going to do with it? Have your place in Panama City where your kids never visit you? Get on wife number 5 because for some reason the woman's always the problem? Really? First of all, I would like to challenge any of you to a game of Monopoly. We can play for stakes if you want to. 2, I don't know what I want to do because I see my dad falling with style. And it's not really any style at that. He's fucking as lame as I am. He's just falling. So what do I want to do? Well, I decided I don't want to fly anymore. But what do I do? I don't even know. All I know is I gotta get up. Hey, I'm up. Do I want to fly? No. Do I want to tell other people not to fly? I mean, I don't want to go out and tell people not to do something that might actually bring them genuine happiness. I mean, I hear you can get happiness at Costco for $249.99 a pound. That sounds worth it to me. Yeah, money doesn't buy happiness, but being broke doesn't buy it either. Congrats if you want to fly. But I kind of want to make a flight simulator, you know? That's what economics feels like to me sometimes. It's like a flight simulator. And there's all these people flying, they're taking off, they're falling back to the ground all at the same it's all happening at once. This is an awful analogy. I love it though. I love it. We're going to tie it together. I No, we're not. I feel like Icarus's son, and I've fallen so many times that I've given up on, maybe that's it. The world's kicked my ass so much, my schizophrenia has gotten the best of me, and I just decided I don't want to fly anymore. That's fine. My dad's he was a former asshole pilot. Maybe it all makes sense now. What I don't want to do is to just needlessly take off flying without any regard for how it is I'm playing this game of flying. So I don't want to fly. I want I want to jump. I want to see how high I can jump. I mean, right, like so when everyone's out there flying, I want to be skipping, right? I want everyone to point and laugh at me and say, "Look at dipshit over here. He doesn't know how the game works." And I hope that maybe just one person can look and say, "Why am I flying? He's skipping down there. These aren't my I wasn't born with these wings. This wax was artificially put on my back." And he's down there doing at least something human. He's doing something conceivable. He's doing something bold. He's going against the grain. Icarus's son would know how to not fly better than anyone. I can tell you right now, I would, if I ever had a kid, I would be the best damn father that anyone could ever ask for. But do you think I want to bring a kid into this world? Hey, oil companies, all your population, right? All behavioral economics, love talking about it. How many models have you accounted for with population growth slowing down? You know, oh, maybe we should just start importing people. That's a good idea. Maybe AI will offset the loss in productivity, so we can keep so America can keep flying. I'm gonna try to jump. I'm gonna try to dunk this basketball. I'm gonna try to make a video game. I'm gonna try to do all this stuff. And you know what it doesn't do? It doesn't make a flying machine. It doesn't get me closer to the sky. It doesn't get me closer to God. It doesn't get me anything. What it gets me is perspective. What it gets me is a new paradigm that I don't even know what it is. And you can say it's a sheep of another herd, but if the other herd is going up there flying, all I can tell you is when your wings melt, you better not be too high off the ground. Most people don't have the wherewithal to check themselves into a hospital when you're suicidal. I did that. Me, the guy who every time I'm in a psych ward, I'm like, get me the hell out of here. You guys are the crazy ones. I don't belong in here. Fun fact, so does like 90% of the people in there. No one thinks they should be in there, but everyone on some level knows why the other person is in there. So I'm gonna be running and jumping while everyone's trying to fly. And as my dad keeps falling, I'm not going to be there to catch him. Sadly. I'd love to, Dad, but what's that Silver Spoon song? Oh, you know we'll have a good time then. All that shit. That yeah, so just take the story of Icarus and add add Cats in the Cradle, and then that's kind of how I'm feeling today, right? I see every mistake my dad made, and I was starting to follow in his footsteps. And even if it means that I die broke and hungry, at least I'll say I played the game and I played it the way I goddamn wanted to, and not because of the way someone told me to. Leo 2.